The Fandom Bricks Podcast.
This week we are back on the Minifig drafts. Josh, do you want to announce what it is?
Yes. This week's minifigure draft is a topic that Sam and I have been wanting to do for a while, but we thought we would save this one for a little bit further down the line, hoping that we would get to more than, say, 5 episodes of our podcast. We did. We're at episode 9. Whoop, whoop. And
we were a little bit worried, weren't we, in the first early episodes that we were going to kind of go down the Star Wars route every week. Because you guys know us, that we could easily do a Star Wars draft every week. So we kind of pushed it back, didn't we?
Yeah, and that is why this is the much anticipated, I mean, for me and Sam especially, this is a very much anticipated draft.
We're looking forward to
which is it's Star Wars villains in minifigure form. Now, for the criterion for this one, obviously, when we do our research for the minifigure draft is we have a specific criteria. With this one, we're not just asking for named characters from Star Wars who are villains. You're allowed, say, like, generic characters who you think have great minifigures. You're allowed named characters who have great minifigures, who come from great sets. So we were very broad with this one. I would say, and you probably touched on this before we recorded, this is possibly the easiest draft to come up with names, but the hardest draft to whittle down to a 5.
Yeah, I completely agree. We said it before we started recording, not that we've been over what we have or not. But yeah, I immediately, as soon as we said it off the top of my head, I had 10, 15 names. I have to be honest, I cheated. I cheated. I don't know if this counts as cheating, but I have this book, which is Lego Star Wars: The Dark Side, and it literally has like every villain minifigure that you could ever think of up until like a couple of years ago. So yeah, I used this as a great resource today, rather than going on Bricklink as I normally do and just kind of type in Sith or Dark Side or Empire or whatever it might be. And actually, this clarified whether a few minifigs were actually minifigs, because in my head I was like, yeah, that was a great minifig. And then I was like, was it a real one or was it a fan-made one? So that clarified a few things for me. So it's always great to use some resources since I had it here. However, I think, or I worry, that certainly within the top 2, 3 maybe, we're gonna have clashes. So I've got a big reserve list this week.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I've come into this. There's been a few times when I've kind of got to 4 and 5 and kind of wondered myself whether I should change the order or not. This is the first week where my top 5 are really up in the air as to the order. I think I'm going to be really kind of playing off you and seeing what you come up with as to how I'm going to play it. And I do think, unfortunately, I took the lead the last time we had a minifig draft. We flipped a coin, and which I won.
Oh, yeah.
And so I do believe, Josh, to my great dismay, because I know what's coming, that you are going to be going first. And I do know what's coming. I don't know if you believe that or not, but I know what's coming. So, Josh, without further ado, I think this week, should we just go through, again, we did this before, we'll just say it, quick reaction, then move on, then we'll have a discussion about the full team at the end.
Before we start this, how did we do on last week's draft? Because we did something a little bit different, didn't we? The head-to-head.
Yeah, so the head-to-head on the sets was 2-2. Not many votes on it, because we did record quite late last time. So it was 2-2 the last time I checked. So by the time this podcast comes out, I may record myself very quickly and like insert here the final results, because I think on Spotify it runs until Wednesday normally. So I think I'll check on Wednesday and then maybe kind of enter in who won at that point.
Excellent.
But yeah, drawing so far, Josh. So I think we both were on to winners there.
Excellent. So I guess let's just get straight into this, shall we?
Let's do it.
And then we'll do our discussion at the end, and we'll go over sets and figures and stuff like that.
The Star Wars minifig draft. Let's do it. We've been waiting for this one.
Without any further ado, I'm going to start. My number 1 pick for the villains draft is from set number 9500, Darth Malaga.
Great shout. He was on my list, which is unsurprising. It's a great shout. It's not what I thought it was going to be, which pleases me. But yeah, no, this is a great minifig. The kind of chess piece on it is awesome. Yeah, great choice. Okay, so for my first pick is exactly what I thought your first pick was going to be. I'm very surprised it wasn't. I have to go Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, he was my number 2. I had a feeling you'd pick him, but I wanted to try and surprise you and knock you off kilter and think, yeah. So I get that. I mean, disappointed, but alas, woe is me, because you've picked Thrawn as your number 1. That means I can have my number 3, which will be my number 2, and I'm going to pick from 2014 Darth Revan.
Yeah, he was, again, so those 3 were my top 3.
Oh, okay.
Unsurprisingly, I think. Yeah, another great fig, like highly, highly sought after as well, isn't it? Yeah, a great fig. Amazing.
So go on. So it's your turn, sir. Number 2.
So already, because those were my top 3, on my second pick, I'm already on my number 4.
Okay.
That's how bad this has got already. And this is my most controversial one by far, but I'm going to stand by it. I will die on this hill. It's the B1 battle droid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just think about this. How many sets has that fig been in, and how many times have they changed it? It's perfect. It is the perfect battle droid for Lego. They will never change it.
Yeah, the only thing they've ever done is change one of the arms.
Yeah,
that is it.
And there is no need to change anything else about that battle droid. Just it is what it is. It's an out there shout, but I went for it.
Wow. Okay.
Go small or go home.
Go small. Wow. Okay. You do realise now that because you've said that, it makes it harder, because even though I've got loads of options to pick from, I don't know who to pick.
Nah, it's tricky.
So, right, well, in that case then, I am going to go for one of the most expensive minifigures that you can get on the secondary market, and also one of the most highly sought after minifigures on the market as well. And from set number 10123, that is the OG Boba Fett.
Oh, nice.
You know, with the arm printing.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
The classic Cloud City Boba Fett I'm going for is my number 3.
Blinded by nostalgia is all I'm going to say.
No, absolutely not. That is a fantastic minifigure.
No.
You can't deny that is not a great minifig.
Honestly, and this again, I'm going for controversial tonight. That and the Django are the most overrated minifigs there are. I would argue that the most recent Boba Fett with the wrong color helmet is a better Boba Fett than that one. People are going to kill me for saying that, but
yeah, if you can say the B1 battle droid,
yeah,
I can say Boba Fett.
Absolutely.
So don't start.
That's the beauty of the draft.
Okay, so it's your turn.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So my third choice. This was really tricky. So those kind of top 4 that I had cemented in very early. Post that, it was hard work narrowing it down. So my 5th choice was from a battle pack that we discussed a couple of weeks ago, but I am going for the most recent version of Dengar. I just think it's a really, really cool minifig. It's different to anything else that we've had. He is a bit of an outside kind of villain. Obviously not a lot of screen time. There's kind of a bit of a fan's choice rather than a well-known character. But I love that minifig. I just think it's really cool. So yeah, I'm going Dengar.
And Dengar, you've gone for Dengar as your number 3.
Yeah.
You've picked a completely off the wall, like,
one all over the place.
I mean, Thrawn, a B1 battle droid, and Dengar. Wow.
Yeah. We're going for it's personal preference.
No, I know, but it's just not what I thought.
No. Well, you say that, but then Malgus and Revan were in my top 3 as well, so
yeah, okay.
I lost a couple with the kind of state of the draw, but there you go.
Yeah. Fair. So in that case then, for my 4th choice in this minifigure draft, I am going to pick from set number 75025. I'm going to pick the Sith Warrior.
Oh, is that the one with the 2 red plates? It's got like a red hood.
Yeah.
2 red. Yeah, that's a cool figure.
Because it comes from like the old kind of like Old Republic, old expanded universe, now Legends canon. And I think the set it's like a Sith interceptor kind of thing, or it's like the Jedi concept Chancellor ship. And I think I've never seen a minifigure that is from, obviously, it's a non-canon sub-theme now, so it's very unlikely that LEGO will release something like that again. And I think it's such a cool design. And the 2013, 2014, like you said, it's one of the best years for LEGO. And I think that sums it up. When you can get characters like Darth Malgus and you can get like a Sith warrior with dual-bladed lightsabers, I just think it's a cool minifigure. And it's one that I wish that I had because it just looks so badass.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, you've gone strong on the Old Republic here.
Absolutely.
I was very, very close to going for something alongside that, but we'll maybe discuss that because I know we still got a couple more picks. Yeah, so my fourth pick now, this one really did move all over. They probably moved more than any other fig on here. I think at one point it was number 2. I don't think anything knocked Thrawn off at any point, but I think this was number 2 and then became like number 10 and then number 5. This is from, again, a non-canon Star Wars story. And so for my fourth pick, I am going Galen Marek, or Starkiller, from the Rogue Shadow set.
Nice.
Really cool minifig. It's not like a full-on Starkiller kind of suit. He's like all torn up, and yeah, it's a really, really cool minifig. So that's the only thing on there is the hair piece. But I've never thought that LEGO do short hair particularly well. But yeah, I think it's a really cool torso, cool minifig.
That is a good figure to go for, and I respect that because it's a great set it's like 2008, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
it's one of the and Force Unleashed is a fantastic video game as well. So that is a good pick. Right, okay, so I guess this is my final pick now. And I think I am going to go to round off my top 5 villain figures, I'm going to pick a character from a set that I know you and I have talked about a lot. It's come up in podcast discussions before. We've had a couple of variants of this minifigure over the last couple of years, and I think its recent one is one of the better versions of this character. And I am going to say, from set number 75336, the Fifth Brother.
Nice. Yeah, I do think the most recent one is very nice. Very good.
Yeah. We've had him in the ATTE, which was Captain Rex's ATTE, but I think the recent version of him is just fantastic. And the Sith, the Inquisitor's shuttle, the scythe is great. And I think based on the minifigures you've got in that set, I think the Fifth Brother is one of the stronger minifigures within that set.
Awesome. Yeah, a great fifth pick. Strong team, Josh.
Okay.
Right, so on to my fifth one, and it's really funny because it's the opposite of what you just said. There's been a couple of variants of this minifig, and I think the first one was better, and so my fifth pick is the Grand Inquisitor.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so obviously the new one, it's nice. I do like it. I do think it's still a good minifig. But I just think that first one, when you look at it alongside that lineup, again, kind of going back to what we were talking about the Brickheads earlier, looking at a whole lineup of figs, with it alongside all those Rebels figs, I just think it fits perfectly. I love the chest piece. The helmet as well just suits really well. Yeah, I just think they kind of, we've talked about this a lot, they kind of nailed that entire Rebels line. If there was one line of Star Wars that I could just own everything, that would be the one that I would want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think between us, we've probably got most of it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Ghost and the Phantom, just saying.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I've got the Phantom, I just don't have the Ghost to go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Grand Inquisitor was on my list as well, so I'm happy with that. So I'm glad that we've each got a very diverse range of people there. And I mean, to be fair, I've gone very Sith heavy, and like expanded universe heavy. You've gone for a broad mix there. Yeah. So
the one figure that I kind of mentioned earlier that didn't quite make the top 5 was the Sith Trooper. The Old Republic, the kind of dark red and black one. I just thought that they nailed the helmet on there. The design of that was really cool, and it came in a really cool set as well. I think that was probably the first time. I've talked a lot about that 2013 lineup of Star Wars, but I think that was the first time that I ever bought 2 of the same set, because I really like those minifigs and I kind of wanted a few more of them. I felt like one set wasn't enough for a shelf. I needed a couple of those. So yeah, no, I think you've gone strong. So do you want to just do a quick rundown of your 5, and then I'll do mine?
So my top 5 villain minifigures are Darth Malga, Darth Revan. I've gone for the Cloud City Prince of Darkness Boba Fett, the Sith Warrior, and I've rounded off my team with the 5th brother.
Great team. Okay, and mine was Thrawn, the epic B1 battle droid, Dengar, Starkiller, and the Grand Inquisitor. So I think you're right. I think we do have a very diverse teams there. Honestly, I now looking back as well, I would have been tempted to put B1 at first place if I didn't think that Thrawn would get taken. If it was just a case of like picking your top 5, B1 battle droid was always going to be in my team. I don't know what it like. I hate that it's in every set, but I love the fig itself. I love it.
I have no words to describe it, because just to give you some examples of my reserve list and other characters I could have picked from this, from this draft, we had Cad Bane from the Justifier. We had Count Dooku from the 2013 Geonosis set. I had the Shadow Guard from the Shadow Troopers Battle Pack from Star Wars Rebels. I had Colonel Yularen from the Polybag, and I even had the Mimban Stormtrooper.
Nice. But
looking at that, and then you pick a B1 Battle Droid, I'm not quite sure how I feel.
Well, we'll see. We'll see when the results come in. But I think people are either going to appreciate my bravery, or they're just going to think I'm an idiot. And
they're going to pity. They're going to pity you.
Yeah.
Or they're going to just destroy you. There's no fine line there, mate. It's one extreme or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. No, like I said earlier, the Sith Trooper, and the other one that and Agent Callus were the 2 that were kind of contending to actually be in that final top 5. I think it was really, really close between a few of mine, but yeah, like I said, that was a bold choice.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, here's one for you before we round this off. Okay, if you had the option to steal one minifigure from my draft for your team, who would you pick and who would you swap out?
It's really tricky because I looking back, I feel like I had Malgus in there to stop you from getting Malgus. It was very tactical, I think.
Yeah.
Revan I did want Revan. I thought that was an awesome mate. I remember the excitement when I found out that was happening. So yeah, I would still Revan. And probably still not the B1. I'll probably swap him out for Dengar.
Okay.
Dengar, I understand, is not like a popular choice, but like personal preference. I just remember looking at that minifig thinking that is awesome.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, I think probably swap Revan for Dengar. What about you?
Again, I picked Malgus because I thought I'm going to play this tactically. So, and I mean Revan, I get why you would want Revan. It's Revan. He's cool. He's ace. But who I'm gonna steal from your team. Let's be brutally honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal Thrawn, and if I had to, I would switch out Thrawn with. I think I would switch out Thrawn for the Sith Warrior.
Okay.
I'd still pick the OG Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But I would have to switch out Thrawn for the Sith Warrior because I think the Sith Warrior is too niche.
Yeah, possibly. I think you might be right on that one. I do remember it clearly now, but it took me a second to kind of go, which one was that? But no, I think you might be right there, but it's a really cool minifig. So I still think it's a really strong pick. So we'll wait and see, won't we?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, guys. There's our minifig draft. Let us know what you think. Get voting. We'll put the poll up on, I think it's on Spotify normally, but I might try and get it on TikTok. It's very difficult to kind of keep up with two different TikTok accounts, but I'll try and get it up on the TikTok.
The Fandom Bricks Podcast.